Breaking now, an international manhunt underway after masked thieves stole priceless jewels from the most famous museum in the world, the Louvre. Still shuttered after French crown jewels, literally, including a sapphire tiara and an emerald necklace set among 1,000 diamonds, were taken in a wild 7-minute heist on Sunday. Only 4 of those minutes were spent inside the museum. The rest was getting in and out undetected. You don't do that without prior planning. Isasaurus is out front.
Diversion. Make a lot of noise over there. So over here in this room, you can take 100 million off the wall and waltz right out the front door.
No diversion was needed for the 4 masked robbers who broke into the Louvre Museum in Paris on Sunday morning, stealing priceless French crown jewels in broad daylight, just minutes after the world's largest museum opened its doors. The Louvre remained closed on Monday as France grappled with one question. How could the world's most visited museum be robbed with such brazen audacity? It was a plot that played out like a Hollywood movie. Around 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, 4 thieves posing as workers wearing yellow vests used a moving elevator ladder to reach the second-floor balcony of the museum. The perpetrators then forced open a window using an angle grinder and entered the Apollo Gallery, sawing open the display location for the treasures of the French crown jewels. As alarm bells rang, they grabbed 9 of the Louvre's most valuable treasures, the priceless 19th century French crown jewels. Among them, a dazzling crown adorned with 24 sapphires, 1,083 diamonds. Also stolen, a diamond and sapphire necklace and a pair of earrings, seen here in this painting of Queen Marie Amélie in 1836. And a glittering bow with more than 2,000 diamonds.
Clever to use a cherry picker and a glass cutter to steal priceless, well, sentimentally priceless jewels from the Louvre. The fact that it was done in daylight is also astounding.
It took only 7 minutes for the robbers to re-emerge with 9 pieces of jewelry, apparently from the same window.
What's sure is we failed because someone was able to put up an elevator truck in the open, in the streets of Paris, have people walk up for a few minutes and take priceless jewels and give France a deplorable image.
Thankfully, one of the most precious items, a crown Napoleon gave his wife, Empress Eugenie, was dropped by the thieves as they sped away on high-powered scooters along the banks of the Seine. French police says the first 48 hours are key to track down the thieves, who so far are still on the run. Isa Suarez, CNN, London.
It's a simply incredible story. Jeffrey Kelly is out front now. He's a retired FBI agent, founding member of the FBI art crime team, which, Jeffrey, I know has recovered more than 20,000 items valued at over $1 billion. So in this case, obviously active manhunt, but the amount of preparation that must have gone into this is extraordinary, right? 7 minutes, only 4 of them in the museum, and no sign of them yet. 40 hours past all these items being stolen. How much is time of the essence right now? Does 40 hours make you worried?
No, 40 hours doesn't worry me. It's certainly not going to be solved overnight. When you look at art theft, recoveries are going to be made very shortly after the theft, or it's going to be generational. The French police right now are doing everything that they would do for an investigation. They're looking at surveillance video. They're processing the truck that was recovered. I believe that the subjects had planned to burn it, and it wasn't burned, so there's going to be potential DNA evidence that can be recovered. And they're going to be reviewing surveillance video and conducting, not just throughout France, but throughout Europe, intelligence sources to see if anybody has any information of value. So it's going to take time. They're going to be in this for the long haul, I'm sure.
A Paris prosecutor told reporters today that it's possible that an art collector actually commissioned the heist. Do you think something like that's possible? I mean, who do you think is behind this?
Well, I'm assuming that's speculation. If the French prosecutor has specific information that this was a contract robbery, then she probably shouldn't be talking about it to the international media. I think it's probably more speculation on her part. We've seen this so many times throughout my career. We call it the Dr. No theory. It's very Hollywood-like, the idea of some reclusive billionaire who has his underground lair filled with illicit treasures. We've never seen that ever happen. We've never had any reclusive billionaire die and his family comes upon the underground lair filled with priceless artwork. It was most likely organized crime. It was, they were good at what they did, and sometimes when you're that brazen, you're able to catch everybody off guard, and that's exactly what happened. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.
It is amazing, though, Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, you think about the things that go missing and then are just never found, right? Because no one tries to sell them or what? I mean, just these right. mysteries. I mean, what are the odds that this becomes that?
Well, it's two different things, right? We've seen throughout history, including, of course, the Gardner Museum, paintings are stolen, you steal iconic artwork, and then what are you going to do with it? It's too hot for anybody to buy it. And so you've seen thieves now are shifting the focus to jewels, because obviously jewels can be broken down, the gems can be recut, and the settings can be melted down. I would hope, and I'm optimistic here, that of course the clock is ticking, but hopefully we have a little bit of time, because if these guys are smart and they seem to be professionals, they're going to hold on to it for a little while. They're not going to break it up immediately. Because if the French police come knocking on their door, they're going to need a get-out-of-jail-free card. And those jewels are their get-out-of-jail-free card. And so hopefully they're going to hold on to it for a while. We saw it with the Green Vault robbery in Dresden in 2019, when they were recovered in 2022, and the jewels were recovered when they were arrested.
Let's bring in Anthony Amore. He's the director of security for the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, which you may remember. That was the victim of another infamous heist back in 1990. 13 pieces of art were stolen. That crime remains the single largest property theft in the world that has never been solved. Mr. Amore was not in charge at the time. I want everyone to know. I think the question everyone is asking today, Mr. Amore, how in the world does this happen at one of the most famous museums in the world, where you would think there would be just incredible security?
Well, Jake, there is good security there, and most museums do have good security, but no place is impenetrable. And when you see the method used by these thieves, which was sort of a brute force approach, they combined this clever approach with using this construction equipment so that they sort of blended into the scenery, and used tools to get through the window. It's a tough thing to prevent.
You've suggested that the timing of the theft might suggest there was some kind of inside information. Tell us more. What do you mean by that?
Well, it could be. Why didn't they do this at, say, 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock before the museum opened? They did it at 9:30 when the doors were open, and perhaps, it's a speculation, the museum had lowered some of its technological guards protecting the building so that they could get in. I mean, the Louvre is the most visited museum in the world. I would suspect, if it was me, that if I was going to climb in through a window when the museum was open, the gallery would be packed. But when they got into the Apollo gallery, it was empty. They must have known that.
So art recovery expert Arthur Brand says that because these pieces are so recognizable, he believes the thieves are probably going to dismantle them and sell the jewels and melt down the gold and silver. Do you agree?
That's probably the reason they did this. I mean, you can't fence these things. It's sort of like a masterpiece painting. Nobody's going to buy it from you. There is no person commissioning these heists for that reason. There's no collector. So, but I think that the thieves are probably holding off for a bit first to see, hopefully, to see what the museum's response is going to be. It's a government museum, so it's probably self-insured. So I wonder if they're waiting to see if a reward is offered.
Well, there might be some collector. I mean, the paintings that were stolen from the museum at which you work, they're hanging somewhere probably, right?
No, that's never happened actually, Jake. When masterpieces are stolen, the people who stole them quickly find out they're too recognizable and too valuable, and there's really no buyers out for them. You're not going to find an instance really in history where that's happened. So perhaps things are stolen, thinking you can sell them, but you quickly learn you cannot, which is more difficult for an investigation because if you hold the stuff tight and you don't shop it around, then it makes for less witnesses.
Anthony Amore, thanks so much. Appreciate your insights.